Aircraft Accidents and Incident Investigations, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th August 2023, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 8(4) of the Treaty Making and Ratification Act 2012, approves the ratification of the East African Community Multilateral Agreement on Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigations. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. As members of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 10, the Universities Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Universities Act.
Thank you.
Order number 11.
Hold on, clerk. Honorable members, I want to rearrange the order paper a little. I have been advised by my deputy, the deputy speaker, that the bill at order number 12 was almost concluded, and we need just one or two members and close the second reading. So instead of opening up, was it replied to? So we'll invite, if there are no contributors at order number 12, I want you to call order number 12. We have the mover reply, then we go to order number 11 for the majority leader to move the fresh bill.
Order number 12, the Kenya Drugs Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill number 54 of 2022, second reading.
Was any member on the floor? Who? Bed Simba, is he in the house? There being no further interest, I'll call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the members for having contributed to this bill and the sentiments which were put forward based on the public participation report in terms of amending certain sections where members talked about the difference between pharmacists and pharmaceutical technologists, the issues about drugs, that if both the veterinary drugs and the human medicines being under the pharmacy, under the Kenya Drugs Authority, because drugs basically are molecularly the same, whether for animals or human, and we need to have them controlled. I think those are good amendments that the committee is going to consider during the committee of the whole House. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply. Yes.
All the honorable members, I'm satisfied that there's quorum to warrant the question to be put. And I now put the question that the Kenya Drugs Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill number 54 of 2022, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to establish the Kenya Drugs Authority to provide for the regulation and management of drugs and chemical substances, to provide for the regulation of medical devices and other health technologies, to give effect to the principles and objects of devolved government in drug safety regulation and for connected purposes.
Thank you. Next order. Go back to order number 11.
Order number 11, the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2023, second reading.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2023, be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, this bill is a very short bill with just about 5 clauses. some of which are cleanups of the Insurance Act as it is, with the first one on Section 40 of the Insurance Act being amended to delete a proviso in subsection 1 that had created some conflict in the law, because Section 32 of the Act provides for a minimum of 5% of 5 million shillings to be held by insurance companies with the Central Bank of Kenya, while the Section 41 that we are deleting had provided for 3 million shillings, and therefore the bill is proposing to delete that, to just have clarity that you now hold 5 million shillings, or at least 5% of the total assets of an insurance company. And that, Honorable Speaker, is to just give assurance to members of the public who are insured by insurance companies that at least there's some money that is being held by those insurance companies as a percentage of their total assets with the Central Bank of Kenya, so that when you invest in an insurance company, in terms of being an insured person, or you have invested in an insurance product, investment product, you are certain, just like with the banking sector, that there are deposits that are held by the insurance companies with the Central Bank of Kenya to compensate you should there be a problem with the running of that insurance company. Two, Honorable Speaker, is the insertion of a new Section 67H, which is basically creating penalties. And as much as, Honorable Speaker, as the bill reads, that any shareholder, director, principal officer, or management staff of an insurer who commits certain offenses, either by failing to take all reasonable steps to secure the compliance of a registered or licensed person with the Insurance Act, or fails to take any reasonable steps to secure the accuracy and correctness of any statement or report submitted under the Insurance Act to the Insurance Regulatory Authority, will have committed an offense, amongst many other offenses that are stipulated there, Honorable Speaker, is creating offenses under that subsection to have a person who commits all those offenses that are listed in the bill, Honorable Speaker, and I'm avoiding to read the offenses, to, as a first offender, to a penalty of a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years, and for repeat offenders to a fine not exceeding 10 million shillings or imprisonment of a term not exceeding 5 years, and in the case of a company, to a fine not exceeding 30 million shillings. Honorable Speaker, this is to act as a deterrent, especially to insurance companies. And the reason, Honorable Speaker, I read the first bit that says any shareholder, director, principal officer, or management staff of an insurance company or an insurer who commits those offenses will be liable to a criminal offense and be surcharged. Honorable Speaker, the reason I was pointing that is because I just had an engagement with the chair of the Finance Committee, who considered this bill, that during the third reading we may need to amend that term, any shareholder, to remove a shareholder, because a shareholder may not necessarily be culpable in the running of any company. The insurance companies that are already listed with the Nairobi Stock Exchange, and many Kenyans could be shareholders holding insignificant shareholding in that company, and therefore are not necessarily involved in the day-to-day running and management of the insurance company. Therefore, if the insurance company were to fail on any of the issues that are listed here, either to make correct statements or to take reasonable steps to secure compliance with the Insurance Act, a shareholder who is just holding shares and is not involved in the day-to-day running of the company may be found liable and therefore be imprisoned or fined 5 million shillings, yet they had nothing to do. Therefore, we have agreed with the chair of the committee during the third reading and committee of the whole. That is one of the areas we would be seeking to amend, so that we remove the term any shareholder and leave it to be any director, principal officer, or management staff, because these are the people who are charged with the responsibility of managing the company, and therefore if they fail to comply with the Insurance Act, then they are liable to an offense. If they make false statements or false reports to the Insurance Regulatory Authority, then it should be the management, the principal officer, and management staff of the insurance company who will be held liable. or if they fail without any justification to settle a judgment or any claim under the Insurance Act, then they'll be held liable. Honorable Speaker, it's important for these penalties and deterrent measures to be there in law, because as it stands today, Honorable Speaker, insurers, their management, their staff punish many Kenyans. You pay premiums, you get into an accident or incur a loss, and the insurance company doesn't compensate you, knowing nothing will happen to them under the Act. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, part of the measures that are being put under this new clause 67H is to make sure that if without any lawful justification, an insurer fails to settle a claim or settle a judgment in court, then they will be liable to having committed an offense and be subjected to the penalties and fines that I have stipulated. Honorable Speaker, the other Section 70 is just a cleanup, and the same with Section 150 on the issue of insurance surveyors, just cleanup of the wordings in the Insurance Act, deleting the word surveyor and substituting with the word insurance surveyors, and the word insurance surveyors are actually professionals under the Insurance Act, defined under the Act. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, as I said, this is a very short bill, and I would really beg that we all support it. Again, Honorable Speaker, to ensure that the insured or the clientele of our insurance companies are first assured that their money is safe within the insurance companies, whether it is money they're investing in insurance products, investment products, in the money market, Honorable Speaker, or whether it is money they have paid to insurance companies as premiums to secure their assets at a time of loss, that those assets are indeed secured. And Honorable Speaker, to also ensure that the running and management of insurance companies is professional enough, Honorable Speaker, that there is not an insurance manager, principal officer, or any person working with an insurance company who will make false reports to the Insurance Regulatory Authority, because IRA, Honorable Speaker, is charged with that responsibility of regulating our insurance companies and making sure that they are submitting reports that reflect the actual financial status and financial health of the insurance companies, so that when members of the public are insuring with them and paying premiums, they are certain that when they incur losses, those insurance companies will be in the financial status